There's never a quiet moment at Ibrox. Not really. Even on the most ordinary of days, the atmosphere around the club buzzes with speculation, passion, and the relentless hum of expectation. But once in a while, a different kind of story begins to take shape. One that doesn't just feed the noise, it slices right through it. Something unexpected, something that hints at a major shift. And right now, as we creep closer to the opening of the summer transfer window, it's not just about who Rangers might bring in or who will be standing in the technical area when the new season kicks off. No, there's a far more delicate situation quietly unfolding behind the scenes, and it's already attracting some very serious attention from across the border. You can feel the murmurs picking up. There are whispers being passed around, subtle at first, but getting louder with each passing day. Scouts have started showing up more frequently, not just out of curiosity, but with purpose. And it's all centered on one name, a young prospect whose stock is rising rapidly and who now finds himself on the radar of not one, not two, but 3 English Premier League sides. We're talking about a 17-year-old goalkeeper who may be on the verge of something huge. It's not every day a player this young draws legitimate interest from clubs with top-flight pedigree. But that's exactly where we are with Rean Maguire. Now, if you've been paying attention, Maguire's name won't come as a surprise. He was the standout in the Glasgow Cup final not too long ago. The shootout hero, no less, in Rangers' victory over Celtic. That performance, combined with a steady presence in the youth setup and several involvements with the first team squad, has catapulted him into the spotlight. Arsenal, Everton, and Ipswich Town, all reportedly keeping tabs. And not just in passing. We're talking concrete scouting activity. And should a deal materialize, Rangers could be looking at a 7-figure fee with additional clauses. A tidy sum for a teenager who's only just signed his first professional contract back in January. Of course, Rangers aren't just going to let him walk without a fight. There's already chatter about extending his contract, locking him down longer, and giving him a clearer pathway to first-team football at Ibrox. And when you hear Maguire talk, it's obvious the boy bleeds blue. After lifting the Glasgow Cup, he spoke about what it meant to grow up as a Rangers supporter and now find himself right at the heart of the club. His words, pure passion. He described it as a dream soaking in every matchday experience and learning under top professionals like Jack Butland and Liam Kelly. Add to that the presence of a club legend like Alan McGregor, who returned to lend his expertise in the second half of the season, and you've got a mentoring environment most young keepers could only dream of. Maguire knows where he wants to be. He's not shy in saying his ambition is to be Rangers #1. Not just to make up the numbers or sit on the bench, but to truly establish himself between the sticks. And with the goalkeeper situation at the club still somewhat up in the air, there's a real possibility that his chance could come sooner rather than later. Decisions will have to be made. Big ones about who stays, who goes, and who takes the gloves moving forward. And all of that depends on who ends up in the manager's seat. Which brings us to the next major storyline swirling around the club. The search for a new head coach continues. The post-Philippe Clement era is officially underway, and after a brief but admirable interim stint from Barry Ferguson, Rangers are still combing through their shortlist. Ferguson, along with his backroom team, Neil McCann, Billy Dawes, and Alan McGregor, stepped in during a difficult time and managed to steady the ship. They're now gone thanked by the club in a statement that praised their dedication and the dignity with which they handled the role under pressure. The board, led by CEO James Bisgrove and sporting director Kevin Thelwell, is being meticulous with the recruitment process. There's no rush, they say. No preferred candidate just yet. Just a series of ongoing discussions with a range of names. Some expected, others less so. One of the standout possibilities, David Ancelotti. That's right, the son of Carlo Ancelotti, who's been cutting his teeth as part of Real Madrid's coaching staff and now seems ready to step out of his father's shadow and take charge of his own project. Despite rumors in Brazil linking him to the national team setup ahead of the 2026 World Cup, sources close to the situation have dismissed those claims. Ancelotti Jr. remains in the mix and is believed to have held positive talks with the Rangers board. But he's not the only one. Former manager Steven Gerrard's name has resurfaced in recent days. And it's not just fan chatter this time. Initial contact has reportedly been made, and it's clear that his legacy at the club still carries weight. After all, this is the man who led Rangers to an undefeated league title and brought the club back to prominence both domestically and in Europe. With Gerrard currently out of a job and keen on a return to management, could we be witnessing a homecoming? Elsewhere, other candidates include Russell Martin recently of Southampton, and names like Gary O'Neill, Rob Edwards, and even Sean Dyche have been floated around. All of them bring different qualities and experiences to the table, and the decision over who will lead Rangers into this next chapter is one the board can't afford to get wrong. The fans demand progress, stability, identity, and most of all, silverware. And in the midst of all this upheaval, there are still player matters to resolve. One such case is Rafael Fernandes. Remember him, the Portuguese centre-back who arrived in January full of promise and touted as a smart mid-season acquisition. Well, things didn't go to plan. Fernandes managed only a handful of appearances, his sole league start ending prematurely due to injury. It's been a frustrating spell, no doubt, and now he's heading back to Lille, his parent club. But credit to the lad, he left with class. In a heartfelt message shared with supporters, Fernandes spoke of his gratitude for the opportunity to play for a club as massive and historic as Rangers. He thanked the staff, his teammates, and most importantly the fans for embracing him even in limited minutes. Sometimes football doesn't go the way you plan it, he wrote, but I leave with a full heart. It's a reminder that behind every transfer, every stat, every brief appearance, there's a human story. So here we are, a club in flux with big calls looming on the pitch and off it. A talented youngster might be on his way to the Premier League. A managerial appointment could change everything. And in the background, the heartbeat of Ibrox continues to pulse, steady and tense, and always hopeful. As the days roll on and the summer creeps closer, the sense of anticipation at Ibrox only grows stronger. The decisions being weighed up right now are not just about shaping the starting 11 or choosing a new name for the dugout. These are choices that will define the direction of the club over the next few years. The fans know it, the board knows it, and the players, especially the younger ones watching from the fringes, know it too. One of those young players hoping to force his way into the first team picture is Mason Munn. The Northern Irish goalkeeper made his debut recently against Fraserburgh and has been tipped as another bright light in the club's youth system. While Rean Maguire is grabbing the headlines, Munn is quietly building his case and hoping for more chances next season. The competition between them might be intense, but it also reflects the quality and depth being developed at the academy. Level. It's the kind of internal rivalry that can only benefit the club long term, especially in a position as crucial as goalkeeper. But make no mistake, these young lads are only part of the puzzle. The bigger picture still revolves around who will take the managerial reins. Until that piece is in place, every squad decision is on hold. The future of senior keepers like Jack Butland and Liam Kelly, both of whom have had moments of brilliance and moments of criticism this season, will likely depend on the new gaffer's vision. Butland, once the clear number one, saw his spot come under threat after a string of high-profile mistakes, including being benched during a critical Europa League tie against Athletic Club. Kelly stepped in, showed composure, and earned praise for his performances, particularly in the domestic fixtures that followed. Still, these situations are fluid. Form fluctuates, confidence comes and goes, and one manager's first choice can be another's second option. That's why the new appointment is so vital, not just for tactics or results, but for setting a tone. Whether the club leans toward a young progressive coach like David Ancelotti or a proven figure with history and presence like Steven Gerrard, the direction taken will ripple through every layer of the footballing structure at Rangers. The supporters are restless, but patient, understanding the weight of the decision, but also eager for clarity. After all, preseason will be here before anyone realizes, and the squad needs time to settle, prepare, and find its rhythm under the new regime. The lack of a clear favorite among the candidates suggests the board is casting a wide net, determined not to rush, but also fully aware that the longer the process drags on, the more uncertainty hangs over player negotiations pre-season. Plans and fan morale. Behind the scenes, those leading the search, CEO James Bisgrove, sporting director Kevin Thelwell, and representatives from 49ers Enterprises are continuing their discussions. They're sifting through options, weighing resumes, and trying to find the right character, not just the right coach. Someone who understands the demands of managing Rangers. Someone who can handle the intensity, the media scrutiny, the week in, week out pressure to win and win in style. That's no easy task. And with no announcement expected until at least the end of the week, the speculation will only continue to swirl. In the meantime, the players and staff who stepped in during the transition deserve recognition. Barry Ferguson, a name synonymous with Rangers, pride took charge in difficult circumstances and steadied the ship. Alongside Neil McCann, Billy Dodds, and Alan McGregor, he helped guide the squad through a turbulent spell. The draw against Hibernian marked the end of their interim spell, and while the results were mixed, their contribution was appreciated by both the board and the fans. The ovation they received at Ibrox on Wednesday night wasn't just polite applause, it was genuine respect. These men wore the shirt, bled for the badge, and stepped up when the club called on them again. As for Ferguson, his future remains unclear, but few would bet against him returning to management in some capacity. He showed character, leadership, and a clear connection with the players, traits that will serve him well wherever he goes next. His time in charge, brief as it was, added another layer to his legacy at the club. All of this from the youth, prospects emerging to the uncertainty around the managerial post, paints a picture of a club at a crossroads. There's potential everywhere you look. There's also pressure. Rangers are not a side that can afford a rebuilding season without silverware. The demands are constant, the bar is high, and the expectations from the support are unrelenting. Whether it's in Europe, the Scottish Premiership, or domestic cups, the fans want progress. They want identity, they want fight, and it's within that pressure cooker that the next few weeks will unfold. Transfer rumors will heat up, names will be linked, some will arrive, others will go. But it's the long-term vision that matters now. Are Rangers building a squad that can compete with Celtic not just once but consistently? Are they setting up a structure that can produce more Maguires, more Munns, players who dream of Ibrox and have the talent to make it? Are they installing a manager who can harness all of it? The academy, the veterans, the transfer budget, and deliver something special? Only time will tell. But if there's one thing you can be certain of, it's that Rangers fans will be watching, waiting, and hoping that the next chapter brings stability, that the right players stay, that the right manager is chosen, and that the roar from the stands only grows louder, because at Rangers there's never quiet, and there never should be. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In what could prove to be one of the most dramatic turns in recent Rangers history, swirling rumors across Glasgow and beyond suggest that Ali McCoist may be poised for a sensational return to Ibrox. This time, not as a manager or a player, but as the club's new director. While the Rangers board has yet to release any formal statement, whispers from within the club's corridors and among well-placed insiders are growing louder by the day. McCoist, a legend in every sense for the Light Blues, commands immense respect. Not only for his prolific goal-scoring record during his playing days, but also for the loyalty and resilience he showed during his spell as manager, particularly in the turbulent years following the club's financial collapse and descent to the lower leagues. To many in the Rangers support, McCoist embodies the very soul of the club, passionate, proud, and deeply connected to the values of Ibrox. This potential return in an executive role would mark a significant shift for both McCoist and the club's leadership. While he has enjoyed great success in recent years as a pundit, bringing insight and charm to football broadcasts across the UK, there's a growing sense that the pull of Rangers may be too strong to resist. Supporters have already taken to social media in droves, expressing excitement at the idea of Super Ally taking on a strategic role within the club, one that could influence transfers, club culture, and long-term vision. Still, the idea is not without its critics. Some question whether McCoist has the administrative acumen to thrive in such a position, arguing that the modern game demands more than nostalgia and name recognition. Others, however, point to his intimate understanding of the club's ethos and his clear communication skills as qualities that could prove invaluable in bridging the gap between boardroom decisions and the demands of a passionate fan base. If confirmed, McCoist's appointment would certainly inject fresh energy. and a sense of continuity into a club that's been searching for stability and identity in recent seasons. As Rangers look to reclaim domestic dominance and re-establish themselves as a European force, bringing back a figure so steeped in the club's DNA could be both a bold and symbolic move. For now, the Rangers faithful wait, hopeful that one of their greatest heroes might be returning home once more. This time, not to score goals or manage from the sidelines, but to help shape the future from the boardroom. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.